Hey guys, we're gonna do a quick, you guys can get ready with me while I talk about what's going on with Chiron in Taurus. So right now, Chiron just moved into Taurus. And if you don't know, Chiron is the wounded healer. And but also while Chiron is the wounded healer, it also shows you that is the wound that is kind of involved with your purpose, right? So wherever comes up at this time is also your gift. It's also your pizzazz, right? So randomly I was just laying down, just watching funny videos or whatever, and a random memory from years ago when I was in high school, a random memory from when I was in high school and came up for me. And on this particular day, I think I had gotten into a fight. Something happened at school, and I got home. And when I got home, I was greeted with a slap to the face. Like literally, I think I had opened up the door and my stepfather had slapped me across my face so hard. And he was like talking to me about like how he's tired of this nonsense and all of these things. And I think I had gotten in, something happened at school, and he told me all about this. And then him and my mom is like, oh, you need to get a job, you need to this. Remind you, I'm in 11th, 12th grade, right? So I'm not thinking about, I'm 17, 18, and they're like, oh, you need to get a job and all of these things and all of this like stuff. So the memory came up for me and I started to cry because inside, the little girl inside of me who's 17, 18, she didn't deserve that. And a lot of these things can be coming up. A lot of our wounds can be coming up at this time. And so in this moment, I can't ignore this girl. I can't ignore this wound, right? I can't ignore that this is coming up for me. I have to face it. And the best way that I learn how to face these types of wounds is with honesty, compassion, grace, and love. So I had to be honest with myself. Sierra, that was not your fault. You were a child. None of their burdens were your mess. None of their burdens should have been put on you. Then I had to show myself compassion. You didn't do anything, because usually I'll go into a spiral of, did I do like, it did come up for a minute, and then I said, no, you didn't do anything. You were a kid. You're a child. You unknowingly didn't know anything that was going on at that time. You're in your own world. And when you live in an abusive household and you're being abused, and then you go to school and you act a certain way, or you're having a really hard time, because it's going to show up in your behavior outside of the home as well, that was a sign. And at the time, mental health, we wasn't discussing mental health like we do today. At the time, I was seeing a social worker though, because they told me that I had a lot of anger issues and that I needed to see a counselor. So I would see a counselor. But also, it was to the point where you're being abused almost every day. You are being scapegoated. Your family don't like you. Your family is verbally, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially abusing you. That's all you know. So you tend to just, you're going to bring that out in different ways. It's going to come out in all different ways. And that's what it was for me. It was coming out in all different ways in my behavior in school. So while he's hitting on me and he slapped me, he's not even thinking about how his behavior towards me is affecting me to go to school and have this anger towards other people when I have to defend myself towards people in school. Because guess what? I'm being bullied. People are making fun of me. Like, all of these things are happening while you're growing up in this type of environment. It's a cycle, right? So I'm being abused at home because I'm being bullied, and I'm being all of these at home, but then it's trickling into school, and then home abuse is going because I'm angry all the time. So when people are bullying me at school, I'm gonna get angry and I'm gonna curse them out and I'm gonna backlash and I'm gonna tell them all of these crazy things, right? Yeah. So it's a cycle. And so it's like hurt people, heal people, right? So now, coming to terms with today, I had to really just sit down and myself. I had to look in the mirror. I'm sorry, my camera's moving. Hold on. I had to look in the mirror and I had to tell the little girl, none of this is your fault. You did nothing wrong. And that you are a better person today. You no longer have to go through that. You can now parent yourself and be content with yourself, because that is who you are now, and things like that. And like this memory out of nowhere, but I had to acknowledge her. She needed acknowledging at this time. And Chiron and Taurus could be asking you, or it could be bringing up memories and wounds that you haven't completely healed from, but it's giving you a chance to face it. It's giving you a chance to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I am sorry that happened to you. That was not your fault. You did nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing. That person was projecting their insecurities, their issues, their problems onto you. And you know what else? One thing I also learned from this is I was the only one truly abused in my household the way that I was. I was beating, oh my God, beaten with cords, beaten with sticks, beaten with belts. The first time I remember was in Brooklyn. I would never forget. My mother beat me with a stick because I went outside. And I get it. I totally get it. I'm like probably 6, 7 years old, going outside to the park, right, to be with my friends in the nighttime. I get it. But did that girl deserve to be beaten like that? No, she did not. So growing up, nobody else experienced the type of abuse that I experienced in my household. I got it the worst. But it also showed me, so I'm also dissecting, why did I get it the worst? Because I'm the scapegoat, right? I'm different. I talked back. I defended myself. I spoke up for myself. I was different. My light shined differently from theirs. So of course, everything is going to be blamed on me. So their financial problems, their issues that they were having in their relationship, he couldn't beat my mom. So what did he do? He didn't beat my mom. He took it out on me. Me and my mom, we had a couple. It wasn't as severe. He did more than my mom did, I would say. Like eventually she had died, like she had stopped beating me at some point. But he did more. My stepfather did way more than anyone else. And then I'm growing up angry, right? I'm growing up with all of these anger issues, all of these moods, instabilities, and all of these different things. Why am I growing up like that? Because I'm being raised in a household that is abusive. I'm being raised in a place that is abusing me almost every single day. So you have to like kind of see it like that. And Chiron and Taurus is bringing up a lot of these wounds, a lot of your truth, a lot of what you've witnessed throughout your years, right? From a childhood to now. And it's giving you a chance to face it, but not in the way, not by self-ridiculing yourself, not by blaming yourself, not by having shame, not by guilt, not by any of that, but with love. Face your wounds with the love that you now have for yourself. Face your wounds with compassion and grace. Face your wounds with reparenting and rewiring. Face them in that way, because that right there is you healing the wound. It's always going to be there. The memory will always be there. But every time it comes up, the more you face it with love, the more you face it going forward, right? Rather than shaming and guilt and self-blame and self-pity and victimizing and things like that. If you keep going forward, if you keep going towards the love, the frequency of love, even towards yourself, it's going to rewire your brain to always continually listen. That memory happened, baby girl, but that is not who you are. That moment, that memory does not define you to be a bad person, does not define you to be any less of anything. You witnessed something horrible that no child, no person on earth should be witnessing. And now as an adult, you are able to reparent, you are able to rewire, you are able to love yourself fully with who that girl was and who you are now. So Chiron and Taurus, it can be bringing up a lot of different memories. It can be any different thing that just trigger you. And you're going to find these moments that comes up and you're going to want to push them away. But face it, because that is where not only breakthrough comes in, but change comes in for the better. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.